Kind of interesting. It's like Grand Central. Every time you turn around, somebody's walking through that door, and we have a room full of folks who are going to be like our audience right now. So if we say something that's funny, you can laugh. All right, don't feel you can have you can laugh if something cracks you up and you feel like laughing. We are continuing our conversation with Mary Pat Hector, the Youth Move National Director of National Action Network, and we are joined by Sister Melanie Campbell, who's President and CEO of the Coalition on Black Civic Participation. I hope I got all that in there right.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
I'm doing fine, sis.
Be with you.
Yes, indeed.
It's that time again.
It's adventure time. You have a big, as a matter of fact, you got a big panel coming up tomorrow, right? Yeah, tell us all about that one now.
Well, you know, it's Reverend puts us all on alert to be ready to talk about what we've done with measuring the movement and talk about what we're planning to do moving forward. So I'm really looking forward to it because he's made it very intergenerational. And Mary Pat's on there, and one of my our leaders, Daniel Bradley, will be on there tomorrow with our Black Male Initiative, and so we'll be really talking about kind of what's been going on over this past year since last year's convention. And I think the theme of this year is right on time. Everything is at stake, and so being able to not just look about what we were able to accomplish, but more importantly, I'm looking forward to having the conversation around what we need to be doing collectively, continue to do. It's been I've been here since Wednesday, and it's been a very robust time of how to strategize and really look at some of the really core issues that are impacting our community in this Trump era.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Trump, and one of the things, and you were there, and Omarosa was there, but that's one other thing. But
that's another show.
That's another show. But still, when we talk about young people today, and they look at the image, it's not stupid. They understand what's going on. Optics matter. And when they see this Donald Trump guy, they don't like him. Right off the bat. I mean, it's just something about him.
My 4-year-old great nephew, 5-year-old, excuse me, and 4-year-old great niece, they don't like this man. It's something young people, a child shall lead them.
Yes.
And it's been really interesting. You know, they're following, they watch the interview.
Oh, yes.
They're watching, they're like, they don't understand why this man is president.
Right, and like I said earlier in the broadcast, my two twin nephews were saying to me, Uncle B, are we going to go to war? We're going to go to war with Korea? And they did North and South, but they said Korea. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh my goodness, these images are coming across and it's affecting them. They're seeing this right now. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of this is being played out. When they watch this nonsense, they may think this is the last day in time, so let me get mine in now. World War III? I said, World War III?
What do you know about war?
Yeah. What do you know about that?
Some people are not.
They are not.
They're very tuned, and so much information, and being able to try to explain it's such a different space we find ourselves when you have to explain why the President of the United States doesn't tell the truth.
Right.
Those are hard to explain to our children.
Right. It's hard for them to digest. And Mary Pat, of course, you've been doing this for how many years now? You're so young. How many years you been doing this?
I started working with Dan when I was around 12 years old. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I can say is young people today, we're teaching them to be more progressive and open-minded and more understanding of what unity means and open. And I think that one thing that I've noticed a lot of young people understand is they don't like Donald Trump because he's very decisive. Divisive. Yeah. And he talks about not liking people because of their religion. He talks about not liking people because of their sexual orientation or because of the color of their skin. And we've taught children not to be that way. And I can truly tell you that those are some of the things that they realize and that they pay attention to, and they understand that he's a bully.
Yeah, and college kids are also watching with the drama that's going on. And what are college students saying? Yeah, do you think? What are their thoughts about what's going on? Kids of college age going to college, and of course they're just getting their lives together and learning their studies, and all of a sudden they see all this crazy nonsense that's going on, and how the media is building it up and kicking up to the next notch, and
Well, I mean, as a college student who goes to a historically black college and university, one thing that, I often worry about is every single year my college tuition goes up 3%, and while many people don't understand what that means or don't think it's important, I'm already paying about $53,000 a year. And I can't think about what happened going into my junior year. What if I'm not able to go to school next year? What would happen to my federal, my Pell Grants? What would happen to financial aid? Like, what would happen? And I think, with him being so trigger happy and with him being so quick to just cut things and not really thinking about the impact on communities that really need them, because he's never really had to worry about struggling or really had to worry about people who really just need basic things like affordable health care or, affordable education. I often think about, what if I can't go to school next year? Or what that would look like for me. What if my brother has to go to war soon? Those are different things that college students are looking at. And we're just kind of on edge because we really don't know what's going to happen next.
Right, and people are talking about all this nonsense that's going on. By the way, the U.S. economy showed its slowest growth in 3 years. This just came out today. Trump created 317,000 jobs in the past 2 months, but the economy grew only 7% since the Trump administration took power in D.C. Is not doing well. And these are signs, yet we have the members of Congress, well, we're going to put off getting rid of Obamacare for another few weeks or so while we come up with a budget that's only a stopgap for just this week. Next week we've got to go through the whole thing all over again. If we're not, we're gonna go under. We won't be able to pay our bills.
I think what's important is that we have to. So it's a very unprecedented time that we find ourselves in, but we have to find a way to stay in the fight. My hashtag it's just, we have to be not just ready for the fight, but stay in the fight. And so, with not just what's happening on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the White House, but what's happening in Congress.
Right.
And we have a situation where most of the people who are in Congress are millionaires, and some of them even billionaires. So you have a billionaire class that has now engulfed the government. And so the rest of the 99% that aren't a part of the 1% have to find, I do believe there's power in numbers. I believe there's power in prayer, right? And that's what I love about National Action Network. We can have all of the highest level politicians in the room, but we're going to spend some time like we did last night, and we're going to pray together, because I believe in that there is a higher power that's not just money. And so we have to use all our tools in the toolbox to be able to fight this. And then also, as we look at a government that we're not quite sure whether or not there's going to, with this budget cuts or potential for cuts, could end up not just impacting students on Spelman's campus or Atlanta University, since I'm a graduate of Clark AU, but also what's happening on a day-to-day basis. What's happening to our seniors, the vulnerable in our community. And so what you do to the least of these, we're in a real difficult time that's going to define what are we made of as a country.
Time moves so fast. We got some phone calls we want to get to. We'll do it on the other side of this break. And Sister Melanie Campbell and Sister Mary Pat Hector are going to stay with us as we take this time out. I'm Bob Slade, sitting in for Reverend Al Sharpton. It's Keeping It Real, live from the National Action Network Convention in New York City. I'm having a ball. We got an audience out there. The audience, give us a round of applause. There we go. It's all good. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Live from the National Action Network Convention in New York City, this is